Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, White Ghost and a Malaysian. My name is White Ghost. Following on from my previous video, which was my travel pass application steps to gain approval, well, the steps that I took to gain approval, which is linked below. Today I will be talking about the 6 steps that I took in preparation to travel to Malaysia. Please like and subscribe below, and let's get into it. So the first thing that I did was I made sure that I printed out the My Travel Pass approval letter / email that I received. I also printed out the long-term spouse visa appointment date, and I made sure that I had a copy of that printed out, which I would need for immigration itself. The second thing that I needed to do was to book a flight. I decided to book a flight with a direct airline on the website, or on the direct airline website. This was mainly because at the time there were quite a lot of cancellations which were happening, which was unfortunate, and on other travel websites that there were, they kept unfortunately getting cancelled. And I didn't want to have that problem of my flights being cancelled and me not getting my refund back, despite it being, considerably cheaper to fly through one of the other websites rather than directly through the airlines. But from booking directly through the airline, that gave me a bit of security, and I paid a little bit extra just to make sure that if my flight was cancelled or terminated or delayed, that I wouldn't have to pay extra, and they would actually transfer me onto the next available flight. Whereas like I said, other potential website or travel websites which are out there, you may not get a refund and you may not be able to be put on the next available flight. Third thing that I needed to do was to actually book the transport from my hometown down to where I was flying from. I decided to actually get a taxi in the end, so I went online and I booked a taxi for around the 100 to I think 112, 115 pound mark. I felt this was the most safest option for me. When I say safest, even though coaches are considerably cheaper, and you can also catch the train, I wanted to limit the exposure I had to other people to reduce the chances of me catching COVID-19. The last thing I wanted was to show up in Malaysia and to be tested positive for coronavirus. So this is why I decided to take a safer option and not expose myself to as many people as possible. So after that, the fourth thing that I needed to do was to go onto this website. So on the Safe Travel website itself, what it asks for is how you're flying, whether it's by air, I think boat or land. I was flying by air, so I clicked on the air. The next thing it asked for was the travel destination, or whereabouts you were going to arrive, where mine was the Kuala Lumpur airport. After that, it asked for the number of people going, and finally the date that you will be arriving in the country, which was important to put. You will then get a QR code on completion of your payments. What you can do, you can pay for a premium package. I decided to go for a standard package myself, which I felt was just as good as I ended up staying at the Hilton Hotel. What you can also do is you can also pay a little bit of extra money for transport and when you arrive at the airport itself to your quarantine, but because I was in the standard package, it meant that I had to catch a coach. So from after completing of your safe travel and paying for everything, the next thing you need to do for number 5 is you need to complete your COVID test certificate. That I needed to book online. After I booked online, there were some rules that you need to follow, where you couldn't drink any alcohol and you couldn't have any tea or coffee or any salt or acidic foods 1 hour prior to your test. This is just to make sure that the test will be valid and you will not come back with a false negative. You walk in, you have to sit down one at a time, and they do obviously take the test, one up the nose and the back of the throat, and they send that away. You can actually pay to get it either 24 hours in advance or on the same day, but you'll be looking around I think you'll be looking around the £200 mark. I know that I only needed mine 72 hours, like within time to fly, and that cost me around about the £100 to £110 mark. And finally, the sixth thing that I needed to do was I needed to download the My Siddhartha app. I needed to I completed all the questionnaire that I asked you to complete, and I needed to do that once again prior before I flew, because they asked for you to show that before you actually fly. I think that's pretty much it for today. Thank you for watching White Ghost and the Malaysian. On my next video I'll be talking about what it was like actually travelling to Malaysia, and what it was like through immigration and all the steps that I had to take in preparation to arrive in Malaysia. So once again, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching White Ghost and a Malaysian.